Welcome to Crossbody of Work. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
And I am very excited for this episode. I'm excited for every episode. But this one in particular, because of the matches and just the characters, this is going to be a shit show.
You've been waiting on this podcast for like 2 weeks now. You started hyping it up like 2 weeks ago.
I did.
It was like Inception. You put a seed in my mind, and as I'm going through and I'm watching all these matches, I'm just formulating, I'm thinking, and I'm just like, now I see why Evan wants to do this. This might be one of the most ridiculous episodes we've ever done.
It is full of nonsense. We are covering Stevie Ray and Booker T, Harlem Heat. So this is not a Booker T episode. I don't want people to be expecting, to see Booker T's World Championship runs or that awful match against Triple H at, what was that, WrestleMania 19? Yeah.
Yes.
We're not covering any of those. This is strictly just Harlem Heat, just Booker T and Stevie Ray, who at first were Cole and Kane, but we'll get to that in a minute. What do you know about Harlem Heat before you started this episode?
I know they had Booker T. I honestly have not done Harlem Heat enough of due diligence as far as like going back and watching through their stuff. I am very much open about the fact that I just don't watch the 90s WCW stuff. I just don't. It's not my thing. The matches feel really slow and plodding, and like, sure, there are matches where I'm like, okay, Sting, let's freaking go. But also at the same time, it's like, yeah, we're like 5 minutes in, and it's just been a lot of headlocks.
Yeah. Aside from when they got infused with the Cruiserweight division, it's really hard to watch some older WCW stuff. It's just not our wheelhouse by a lot.
Yeah.
But
it's not.
Harlem Heat, one of the most legendary tag teams of all time, a 10-time WCW tag team champion.
10 times.
They won it 10 times. Imagine if Booker had to say that every time. The man would run out of breath.
Hey, 5 time, baby.
So Booker and Lash Huffman, Booker T obviously being Booker and Stevie Ray being Lash, real-life brothers. They debuted in 1993 as Cole and Kane. Booker was Cole, and Stevie Ray, that's gotta be Kane. I don't know why they went with those names first, but that's what they went with. I want to talk about what their original gimmick was going to be, because holy shit, it would not fly today.
Go ahead and tell me, because now I'm curious.
This is directly ripped from Wikipedia, okay? Originally, they were supposed to be a pair of wrestling prisoners, won in a card game by manager Colonel Rob Parker, but was changed due to racial sensitivity based on their look, coming out to the ring in wrist and foot shackles. What the fuck?
Okay, first off, the look is what did it for them?
You know what? Aesthetically, this doesn't look the way we want it to look.
The fact that
Sweet
the
Jesus.
black prisoners were won in a card game by the white manager that looks like freaking Colonel Sanders isn't enough?
No, apparently not. They're like, you know what? This isn't how we thought it would look. Let's scrap it. Thank God they did. Wow.
Could you imagine what Booker's career would be like if he had to overcome that gimmick?
Oh man, there would not be a Bad Bunny song called Booker T.
There might be.
Chance in hell. They would be called Cole, and it would be sad.
There might be. It just would not. It would not be the way that it is.
No. Before we get into our first match, let's do all of our normal plugs and housekeeping. You should follow us on the Twitter at Crossbody of Work. Join us there. You can also follow us on Instagram. We don't really post there, but follow us. Maybe I'll start posting more. Who knows? It's an adventure.
Give them some incentive, because I for damn sure will not be posting from the Instagram
Give me incentive.
account.
I'll post some things, sure. You should also check out the merch table, fullpressshop.com. Cop the merch. Buy the
Evan's
shirts.
wearing a shirt right now.
I am wearing the shirt right now. It's one of my favorite shirts to wear around the house. It's comfortable as hell. Wear the shirt. It's beautiful. As well, check out my other podcast. The other one I just started with my friend Mallory, Pop Capsule Podcast. We review all the nostalgia from 10 and 20 years ago. This week's episode, we covered Charlie Sheen getting fired from 2.5 Men. Because holy shit, remember that? Tiger Blood, winning, Adonis DNA, cocaine. It was a party. 2011 was a different time, man. It was a weird time.
You just kept going with stuff, and I was like, it can't get any worse. But then it just did.
But then it gets worse. It gets worse every time.
What is it? HIV, prostitutes.
It was a weird time for Charlie Sheen, for Mr. Charles. I think that's everything. Check out articles on fullpresswrestling.com. If you want to write for us, there's a link on the site. We're almost at WrestleMania, but we have to get through Fastlane first. Ugh. Ugh, Fastlane. That's where I'm at in terms of the WWE calendar. I just want it to be WrestleMania.
Anyways, good shit. So Harlem Heat.
Let's talk Harlem Heat. And we're starting off with what a place to go. What a way to start this episode. Oh my god. All right. So let's set
this was the match that got you very excited.
This was the match that sold me. So we are at Fall Brawl 1993. So this is right after Cole and Kane have debuted. And they are part of a War Games match. They're Harlem Heat, they're still known as Harlem Heat, and they're on a team with Vader and Sid Vicious, which is a great combo if you want to powerbomb people and be extremely unsafe. And they are going up against a team of Sting, Davey Boy Smith, who I did not realize had a couple of different stints in WCW, Dustin Rhodes, who was in every fucking War Games match apparently.
He was in every WCW match. Is he up until Goldust in 95? 6? He is just in every WCW match, period.
He's been on. He's the opponent of everyone we covered from that era of WCW.
Ric Flair is fighting Sting, and Dustin Rhodes is somehow in the match.
But the last man on the team is the Shockmaster. Yeah, this is the match. He was being introduced to be a part of this team when he fell during his entrance through the wall with his fucking sparkly stormtrooper helmet.
It's the Shockmaster.
I have never actually looked for this match because I just saw that debut and you're like, well, that's the worst. That's it.
Yeah, he just disappeared into obscurity. We never heard from him again until the Edge and Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness.
I loved that show. That's so good.
I love it so much, and the fact that I'll never get it again hurts.
Yeah, because instead we get Christian Cage in AEW.
And Edge the wrestler.
Shockmaster no longer has his glittery stormtrooper helmet on when he comes out. He is just a big dude.
Yeah, why does he look like Hillbilly Jim?
I'm pretty sure, isn't that the guy who played Tugboat? I think it's the same guy who was Tugboat. But
who knows?
He just comes out in a sleeveless white loose shirt.
Loose being the very defining word of that.
It was loose.
That thing, okay, I need you to take a guess. What size do you think that shirt is?
Oh, 4X's on that.
4?
It's got to be a 4X.
I'm thinking higher than that. This is a big dude we're talking about. He, makes Vader look kind of normal.
He's 6'3", built at 385, and yes, the Shockmaster was Tugboat and Typhoon in WWE.
Oh, Tugboat.
Just co-opting that for this.
We're already going off the rails. Anyways, so before we get started on this, I need you to say War Games like William Regal.
War Games!
Okay, you do it way better than I could have, so I'm not even going to make an attempt.
That's what I'm here for.
Anyways, the match starts off, and it's Dustin Rhodes and Vader in the ring.
And U.S. champion Dustin Rhodes, don't sell him short. Also, for some reason, the face team has Animal as team advisor. What?
Yeah, what is happening here? First off,
what does it even mean?
Colonel Parker is with the heels, but it's like Colonel Parker, is he the manager for Harlem Heat at this point?
Yes, but they're not prisoners.
Okay.
That is an important...
Did he win them in a card game, though? That's also very important.
I don't believe so. I think he's just their manager.
Also, what a great name. Harlem Heat.
Yeah, it's a great name.
It makes no sense because they're from Houston, but what a great name that is.
And so, yeah, the heels have Colonel Rob Parker, and they also have Harley Race, because Harley Race is with Vader at this time.
Okay.
And the baby faces, like I said, they have Animal in their corner for some reason, no idea why. And Dustin Rhodes sneaks in to start the match. He was supposed to let Shockmaster start the match, but instead he sneaks in because the night before the heels had beaten him up and I think hurt his shoulder.
His ribs are beat up in this match.
His ribs. It was his ribs.
Yeah.
And so Dustin Rhodes starts against Vader, which is not a good look. Vader can eat that man for a snack and still have room.
Vader is got the barbecue sauce bottle just ready because he's going to eat himself some ribs tonight.
I did like that Dustin started the match by taking off his boot and just beating Vader with a boot.
Yeah.
It was very Portuguese mom of him. Just whip the boot at the child.
My man is wrestling this entire match with one boot on.
Yeah, the whole match.
The whole entire match. Also, is this the quickest War Games match of all time?
100%. It's so quick.
It's like 16 minutes.
Experience a War Games match? Watch. It's not good, but watch this one. You'll get the whole gist of it.
It's like 15 minutes, 15, 16 minutes, something like that. It's kind of nuts. Anyways, Dustin starts whacking him with a boot, whacking Vader with a boot. And then he just starts selling the crap out of those ribs because apparently my man's got the entirety of his rib cage is just torn to shreds.
Every rib is garbage. Every single one.
And he has to sell like crazy. The bandages somehow keep getting lower. They just keep going down further. I don't get this. Also, we got to talk about Dustin Rhodes' trunks. Why? Really? They look like high-waisted shorts. But like I can't. But he doesn't have enough booty meat to make it work. Like it literally, you could see his ass cheek, but you can't really because it kind of just looks like part of his leg.
And you know what? It is solely one. He only has one ass cheek. He has so little ass that he has one singular cheek.
No, even combined, it's not even more. It's not even one. It's like half of an ass cheek.
My question, in terms of aesthetics of our starters, Vader loses his mask so often.
And let me just he takes it off and just says, fuck it.
Why does he wear it?
I don't know.
What does it matter?
We did a whole Vader episode, and we didn't even talk about his mask. There is no, conceivable way that mask works. Like, what is he doing?
Anything.
Doesn't hide your face. It looks wildly uncomfortable. It always comes off.
It's
what
too
is the
small
point
for
of
his head, yet he can easily remove it at any time.
What is the point of the mask?
It doesn't.
I don't
make
get
any
it.
Sense.
We know what your face looks like.
You don't hide it. You're not trying to be. You're not the Shockmaster.
Like, it's not like you're fucking Kane, where no one knew who Kane was for years, probably.
Exactly. Speaking of Kane, this Kane, which is Stevie Ray, is the first man to enter because the heels get the advantage because it's a War Games match. That's how things work.
Okay, this is why Evan should just be on the radio at all times. That transition.
That's what I'm here for. Kane's in, and it's only a 2-minute break between new people entering, which is why this match goes so quickly. So the heels get the advantage. Dustin, he caught Vader for a half power slam at one point as Kane entered.
So it was Vader did a dive off the middle rope. Dustin caught him and kind of just assisted him in a power slam.
Yeah. And then the next man in is Sting, who gets jumped immediately by Kane Vader, which is the smart thing to do. If you have one guy down and there's a fresh guy coming in, obviously 2-on-1 assault on the new guy. That's the strategy.
Yeah, and the story of this match is really... Well, the first half of this match is really just the fact that it's basically an advantage for the heels, not because they have the advantage, but also because they kind of have a multiplied advantage because Dustin is kind of just done.
Dustin's like a half person. He's at 50%.
He's essentially just either of us also included in this match.
He's at one ass cheek. That's it.
Man's at a half. He's at a half ass cheek with some high waisted shorts, just vibing over there. Broken ribs, one boot on. We don't even know where his boot is half the match.
No,
somehow he gets it back. It's like freaking Captain America somehow losing his shield, but then 5 minutes later he's got it back. It's where the hell did you get that from?
Also, of course, since this is 93, this is Surfer Sting, which is... Some people will die on the hill that that's the better Sting. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't a WCW kid enough to know and have an opinion, really.
I like the vibes of Surfer Sting more.
Oh, the vibes are high.
But I only knew Sting as the Crow character because my only real thing with Sting, aside from his short stint with the WWE and now AEW, was his TNA run.
Fair, yeah.
In which he was the Crow. He was also Joker Sting, which was fun for a little bit.
You prefer him as Joker Sting?
I mean, honestly, yes, because that was kind of a cool character. I would die on the hill that it was pretty cool. They just couldn't do it because
we're gonna do a Joker Sting episode one day.
Let's go. Let's fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, he only did it for 2 months, but
it'll be a really quick episode. There you go. So not much happening in here when Sting's in. Next person in is Sid Vicious, so the heels are back in the advantage. Sid with actually a really good one-arm chokeslam. which like
Yeah,
I
it
expect
looks
Sid
great.
to be able to do because he's huge.
Did you say one arm choke? Our chokeslam's not normally one arm. What
Like,
is this? The Great
he doesn't do the
Khali?
bracing with the other arm. Like he doesn't do the like normally like hold the other guy up for a little.
Because it's Sid. Sid doesn't care about safety.
That's true. It's like I said at the beginning. Sid does not give a damn about your
Sid's
safety
probably
while you-
actually choking the dude while he's going up.
It's a choke slam. I have to do it this way. Next in is
Davey boy.
Davey Boy.
Oh, right. But we should also mention at this point, so Sid is in, right? And the heels are now up basically 3-1 advantage on Sting, who is getting bullied.
But then Bulldog comes in, clothesline, power slam, looking good. This is not prime Davey Boy, but he's only a year removed from Intercontinental Championship at Wembley.
Yeah, admittedly, that's all he's got to do, because, it's just all Davey Boy did was just power slam. Big man ting.
Yeah, big man tings. Last in for the heels is Cole. He's in finally. That's Booker T. And Cole is going double platinum, no features. He is ready to party.
Oh, God, this is why Evan is the real host of this podcast. The man just has all the quips. He just has
come
them
up
all.
with the puns and the quips.
We got Booker.
Booker looks good.
Yeah,
Booker looks good here.
Booker looks
Stevie
great.
Ray, not great. Booker looks good.
Booker looks great always. But I've never seen Booker T look bad.
Except for when he's on commentary.
That doesn't count because I can't see him. I just hear him.
Shucky ducky quack quack. I love Booker. I think he's so funny. I think we should have Booker on commentary instead of like some other people. I don't know who would replace, but like Booker's fun.
At the Royal Rumble this year, when Booker was just standing there in his GI Bro looking gimmick while Bad Bunny sung circles around him, like, can we just talk about the fact that the man looked like $1 trillion?
Yeah,
get Booker back in the ring.
So good.
Get Booker back in the ring. Fuck it, Edge is coming back. Christian's coming back. Give me King Booker. Give me another Booker run.
Ooh, give me a run of King Booker where he like knocks some sense into King Corbin.
Yeah, and now it's just Baron Corbin again, and we've got King Booker,
he
the
goes
rightful
back to Lone
king.
Wolf Baron Corbin.
Brings back the freaking World Heavyweight title just for him, only him. It's not even. It's like the FTW belt in AEW. No one actually gets to use the thing.
Shockmaster's in last, and my question is this: if Shockmaster was going to be the first guy in, and then they got mad because Dustin went in, why wasn't he the second guy in?
Okay, so aside from that, which you're correct, but we don't add logic. It's WCW.
No.
Next man up is the Shockmaster, and who knows what kind of entrance he's going to make.
They just roast him for the.
They were
first,
joking
like,
on this man's life.
They're like, oh, what kind of entrance is he going to make? It's like how, when Titus O'Neil slipped and fell and went into the other dimension underneath the ring at the Greatest Royal Rumble. You know how that became like a joke with Titus for a long time, and commentary would like
still to this day, some would say.
Like, you have to steer into the skid of this. Like, you can't come back from that Shockmaster debut. You can't. It was so bad.
At least Titus, like, there was some comedic portion to his character up, like, at that point. I feel they just wanted it to make it so, special, because they wanted this guy to be like a legit, by all accounts from what I've heard, right? They wanted him to be like a serious babyface character.
Yep.
And then he fucking fell out his face, and they were just like, well, we can't fuck with this guy anymore.
Well, can't do that no more.
It's like what they, but at least like just make him Tugboat in WCW or something. I don't know.
Call him Big Rig. Who cares? We get to the end of the match almost immediately upon Shockmaster entering.
Dude, what the hell was this? I was genuinely shocked with this.
Well, that's what the Shockmaster does. He shocks you.
All right, so he's not like Static Shock. He doesn't ride a cool little board and throw electricity.
He's just surprised.
No, it's just he just falls on his fucking
surprises.
face.
Yeah,
looking like the most useless character in Star Wars. Any of the Stormtroopers.
Shockmaster makes Cole, who was the freshest man in the match, submit to a bear hug, which we all know we love on this podcast.
Which lasted like 20 seconds. It was like a 20-second bear hug.
It was like the hug you would get from like a big uncle upon seeing you for the first time. And Cole's like, that's it, tap out. I'm done here. This is a really weird match.
I was so disappointed because I was like, all right, cool, I'm ready to see more of this. And then it was over.
Harlem Heat, for their like participation, they were not the focal point of this match. They were just additional heels for the match. They were actually not bad.
Hey, Stevie looked great.
Booker T looked better. But that's the story.
I mean, no. Aesthetically, Stevie looked way better. Just
Stevie
aesthetically.
Is gigantic.
He's a big guy. He's such a
big guy. Big, meaty guy. Let's move on to match number 2. And this is a match that you loved. So I'm very excited to dive into it. Uncensored 1995. It is the WCW World Tag Team Championships. The Harlem Heat are defending the titles in a Falls Count Anywhere match against the Nasty Boys. Sags and Knobs. They're now Booker T and Stevie Ray, and now they are being managed by Sister Sherry, which is what we're going to see for pretty much the rest of this episode, is that they're managed by Sister Sherry, which is great because she does an excellent job with them.
Yeah, she's good. She's really good in the role. I mean, Sherry's a great manager. Is the thing with Sherry. She was awesome. She's really good at playing the heel manager, which is kind of what you need. And with a name like Sister Sherry, if she wanted to be a babyface, she could have been a babyface in 2 seconds. Who's gonna Who's gonna talk shit to Sister Sherry? Come on now.
Nobody. The theme, the Harlem Heat theme, is a vibe.
I mean, it's just Booker T's theme.
It's the Booker T theme, but it's still good.
Minus the "Can you dig it, sucker?"
Yeah, because WWE always needs to add tags to the beginning.
All right, it's a great tag. It's a fantastic
tag. But the theme is a vibe. The outfits that Harlem Heats are always in always look good. They always look fresh.
I was thinking that. They look fresh to fucking death in those gear.
Every single time. The gear is so good. Sister Sherry coming out with the tag, and she's holding the belts. I always like when managers hold the belts.
Yes, like Paul Heyman just holding the belt like it's the most precious thing in the world for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he holds it like it's the nuclear briefcase.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is mine. We're never letting go.
So it's just, hey, they first off, you did this. They did a fake out entrance in this match.
They did. They did.
So Sherry comes out holding the belts. What is it? Knobs and who's the other one?
Sags.
Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry Sags. Brian Knobs, Jerry Sags.
Yeah, so they're in the ring already. They're looking out at Sherry, who's coming down the entranceway. And then they're just like, the camera pans out a bit. And you knew exactly what was happening in a second the camera panned out a bit.
Yep.
Which is that, Harlem Heat shows up and then hit him from behind.
And it's exactly what they did. Though, before that,
which is a wild
Knobs
statement.
Took a shot at Sherry as she was coming down. He, fully swung at her. And I was like, hey, man, you can't hit.
Theme for the match? Theme for the match.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Pretty much right away. Actually, no, in the ring first, there's a spike double pile driver with Booker coming off the top rope. That looked good.
Yeah, they hit a fucking Mighty Racer. And my man, that is the finisher of the Horseman.
And Harlem Heat didn't care. They're like, yeah, this is ours now.
That is the finisher of the fucking horse. That is the brain buster finisher. And they were just like Sags, I think, is the one that took it. No, Knobs was the one that took it, the blonde one. And he was just like, fine. 2 seconds later, he was in the corner getting punched.
It's like kids these days not selling a DDT.
Like, brother, you're telling me that the DDT's dead? There's the freaking Mighty Racer.
Well, just wait for 10 years or 15 years from now when somebody's just no-selling a Meltzer driver.
Oh, God.
It'll happen.
Oh, God.
It'll happen.
If anyone no-sells...
Somebody's going to use the... why can't I think of AJ's finisher? What's it called?
Phenomenal Forearm?
No, the other one.
Styles Clash?
Somebody's going to use the Styles Clash as a transitional move. You mark my words.
AJ uses it as a transitional move.
That's true. They don't like him finishing as much with that one in WWE.
All I'm saying is if someone kicks out of 3 Rainmakers at the 1 count or uses as a transitional move, but there's going to be hands thrown. Hands are being thrown. I don't care.
Javier will fly to Japan to fight somebody.
Yeah.
Not sure who. The Booker, maybe.
The Booker will probably be Okada.
Yeah. So the Nasty Boys get in control in the ring, And they drag Sherry into the ring over the top rope, and then they rip part of her shirt off, which is the back of her shirt.
I thought it was like a jacket. Was it not?
Yeah, it might have been a jacket. That makes more sense. And then they stick Sherry's face in Sag's armpit. Is this the 4th grade? Like, what?
Do they like have a crush on Sherry?
You're gonna smell my pit, me. What?
And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, kiss me.
Yeah, garbage. Then we get to the brawl to the outside, because this is a Falls Count Anywhere match, like I said. And this is where it gets really fun, is they decide to brawl to the concession stand that doesn't look like an actual concession stand. It's just they set up some concession booth nearby for them to
one says
like
popcorn, one says funnel.
Funnel cakes.
Basically... Have you ever had... I have no idea what a funnel cake even is.
Funnel cake is just like deep fried cake, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that not just fried dough?
It's fried dough, but like different people have like slightly different recipes. Funnel cake is delicious.
I've never had funnel cake. The only carnivals I ever went to were like one that my dad's company throws. And I would never, I don't know, I'd get like, maybe sometimes I'd get cotton candy or popcorn, but most of the time I'd just get like the chicken fingers and fries that they had.
Yeah, actual food.
Yeah, I would never, the fried dough is bomb. Fried dough, you throw some powder on that bitch.
Yeah, and that's exactly what funnel cake is. And, whenever I went to, theme parks, there's a big one in Toronto called Canada's Wonderland. And I would always go, and I don't like the rides. I don't understand the appeal of roller coasters. I am perfectly fine on the ground. I will play all of the carnival
on
games.
The ground. You're on a car.
Yeah, that is just rapidly going through. Like, I don't need that. I have enough excitement and stress in my life. I don't need that, and I never did. People are like, I want to go in the drop zone. What's that? Well, you get strapped to a chair, and they launch you straight in the air, and then they wait. Are you shitting me?
No, I don't do the elevators.
Absolutely
the one
not.
where you just go up and down at like inconsistent paces, because the one at Six Flags New England, all right, I got on it one time and it creaked really loud. Never again. I was done.
Yeah, no.
I'm not fucking dying on the elevator ride. Are you kidding me? I'll die on the Superman, but I'm not getting on the friggin' elevator ride.
I also understand people who are like, I'll go to the Canada's Wonderland. People who are like, yeah, I'll go to the roller coaster that's in town for the week. No. If you can pack that in a suitcase, I do not trust it.
Yeah, I want that shit bolted down for 10 years before I can trust that
This
thing.
needs to be sturdy.
I want to see some rust before I get on that bitch.
So they're out and they're brawling by the fake concession stand, and it's hilarious the whole time. What were your favorite parts?
Oh my god! So my favorite part was I don't know. First off, my favorite part comes after the match, so I don't want to spoil it just yet. But the best part about this was I think at one point Booker like gets, I think it's knobs, and he like throws them through the funnel cake stand, and it just collapses immediately like it's an announce table. And Booker just falls afterwards because he slips on the lemonade that's everywhere.
Yeah, I think it was Stevie Ray accidentally or like intentionally dumped a bunch of lemonade, like a whole tray of lemonades on knobs, and then everything is slippery, and it's like a giant ice rink. And
yeah, Harlem Heat is covered in mustard this whole time. I don't know where the mustard came from. Also, disgusting. I hate mustard.
All right, I got to tell a story. The second I saw the mustard, I had flashbacks. So when I was in high school, we would have all these dances, and like we had this big semi-formal dance.
Evan, don't tell me this is how you lost your virginity. Not with the mustard.
We're not. That's a story for whenever we get a Patreon. Now, the semi-formals. There was one that was like a really fancy one in December, and it happened like off of school property at some other place, like a banquet hall. And then there was one that happened in the spring, and it essentially was like prom for everybody else because the seniors were getting prom. And I was student council president, so I had to help run the dances. Side note, there was this office off to the side of the cafeteria, which was the student council office, and one of our teachers who ran the student council would keep one thing in there, and it was a big jar of mustard. And the only reason he did was because he would bring his sandwich for lunch from home, and he wanted the mustard fresh on the sandwich, which I can appreciate. Now, here's how this all comes together. At a dance, we had been using that office as like a place to store our coats for like the people running it.
I thought you said Coke for a second there.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm in high school. I can't afford Coke. Are you kidding me? Also, don't do drugs. Easy. Now, somebody had got into the office and he was hammered because people would get just totally blasted and come to this dance. And
Naturally, you're in high school.
And he grabbed the mustard. And he proceeds to go to the middle of the dance floor and just tornado with the mustard. And I'm outside. I'm not in the splash zone. I don't know what's going on.
You didn't get any mustard on you.
I hear people screaming and running. And all of a sudden, he just like whips it in the air and bolts. And people, this was a semi-formal. They're in their nice suits and their dresses.
Some people are probably renting this shit.
Done up. And they're acting like they've been shot. Like there's just mustard.
Okay, admittedly,
everywhere.
Can you imagine if you're renting like a pretty expensive suit and now you got mustard all over it?
Bad.
You may as well have been shot. You say you can't afford cocaine. Can you afford to buy a fucking suit off of a tailor?
And the only reason they caught the guy is because he was like the last one to run out of the room and had mustard only on his hands.
Okay, admittedly, someone could have ratted him out.
Probably. But still, I remember that dance as the mustard dance, and the second I saw Harlem Heat, I had like, flashbacks. I was like, oh my god, it's that again.
It's
the
like
mustard
Carrie,
dance.
but like terrible.
But yellow.
And just not good, because no one likes who likes mustard? If you like mustard, you're just weird. That teacher of yours or whatever is weird.
Let's start debates. Among the people. I don't like mustard either, but
I hate mustard. If I have a sandwich, so let's say it's an Italian sub. I have an Italian sub. So you can imagine that in your head. You got the salami, all that stuff.
I've eaten, yes.
I want two things on it, and two things only. On the bread, mayo. I'm a big mayo guy.
Okay.
Don't go over the top with it. Just normal, slather some mayo on that bitch. And then just a slight drizzle of ketchup. That's it. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
You don't need hot sauce on a sub. It's a sub. If you're putting it on like fucking chicken, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't quite understand the people who put hot sauce on everything.
Yeah, I mean, I love my Franks. Don't get me wrong. I put that shit on everything. But like, I don't put it on. I don't actually put it on anything. Everything. Like there's probably like rice and chicken downstairs. I'm not going to use the Frank's Red hot sauce on that. Why? Because
it's got enough flavor in it already.
It's good enough.
Yes,
this is true. I'm also Hispanic, so.
Yeah, you don't skimp on the seasoning.
Yeah, we do not. But anyways,
this match we pretty much covered everything, and then the match just ends. You don't actually see the pinfall.
You don't see the pinfall, but the Nasty Boys won. And then Jerry doesn't even realize the match is over. He pushes the shit out of Sherry. She goes fucking flying like 10 feet, sliding. She's doing the electric slide on the lemonade. And if she falls at the end of it, because there's lemonade everywhere, and no one can hold their balance. You see it so many times. Like the wrestlers just wobbling because they're like sliding on the freaking water everywhere.
Cha-cha real smooth by Sherry at the end. All right, we're going to take a commercial. When we get back, we might talk more about the actual matches, but I make no promises. Back from the break, match number 3, Clash of the Champions 30. It is a tag team title match versus Stars and Stripes, Marcus Bagwell and the Patriot Del Wilkes. Marcus Bagwell, also known as Buff the Stuff, though he does not look like Buff the Stuff here.
I'll tell you, so as I've said on multiple sides, I like watching the matches just back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever cared less for a match after viewing a match than this one right here.
Is it because you came from the like just pure fun of the Nasty Boys match?
I just had a fucking a War Games match and a food fight, and you're telling me I gotta watch fucking Marcus Bagwell and the Patriot? Come on now.
The start of this match is super weird because instead of Stars and Stripes appearing after Harlem Heat come out, who are in purple gear, which looks fire again,
absolutely so fire.
Instead, Ric Flair appears.
Yeah, what is happening?
At his side, and goes to talk to Vader, and then goes into the crowd, and Bobby Heenan gets off commentary to go talk to him. I'm like, what is I don't know what the storyline thing is here, but everyone's just thrilled that Rick is here.
Is Marcus Bagwell the next Ric Flair? Are we doing that storyline, or are we saving that for AJ Styles? That's what's happening. I hate it so much.
It makes me so happy I didn't watch it. So
what is this?
We got Bagwell and Booker to start. Lots of energy from Booker T and Bagwell. Lots of good work at the very beginning. Double dropkick from Stars and Stripe looks good, and a huge double hip toss on Booker. He got launched into the stratosphere.
Some air on that. Booker's a very athletic guy. I don't know if Booker gets the credit that he deserves on being super athletic.
Yeah, and I think it really shows in his tag team with Stevie Ray because you get to see the dynamic. Obviously, lots of tag teams are built with like athletic a smaller athletic guy, bigger, stronger guy, but there wasn't that much of a like height disparity between Stevie and Booker.
Well, they're brothers. Like,
yeah, they're pretty similar. But Stevie does fill the strongman role pretty well.
I mean,
and
yeah, the guy's
Booker
shoulders are bigger than my head. So
yeah, he's a big guy. What spots do you remember from this match? Maybe I don't want to say what spots you liked.
I liked. Well, listen, it's not that I disliked this match. I just didn't care. Like, it just didn't do it for me. You know, It's not. I just came off of a fun ass food fight. I just want to see chaos. And granted, the next few matches are pretty much chaotic. But like, this is like the only normal match of the bunch, and I just wasn't here for it. I just wanted chaos. And I mean, I liked early on. Booker like slaps Bagwell, and then Bagwell is just like, "I'm a small babyface who's now going to go on the attack."
You've unlocked nerd rage.
And he just like starts beating on him. It's stupid as fuck. Booker gets worked down early, and then at some point, I don't remember, Stevie Ray comes in and he hits a very awesome looking World's Strongest Slam on Marcus Bagwell. It might honestly be the best one I've ever seen.
Is this when we get the double crossbody, like where they run into one another right after that?
I believe so. And then they just start working.
Commentary says, "I've never seen that." I'm like, really? You've never seen two guys run into each other in a wrestling match?
Yeah, and then they just start working on Booker's arm, left arm, which, like, we're doing work holds. Like, I just came off of a food fight, man.
It's also, Clash of the Champions, it's only an hour-long show. What are you wasting time for? Get to the next thing.
Yeah, get the fucking mayo out here. Start slathering, motherfuckers.
We need a mayo fight.
No, honestly, everyone, popcorn butter, the melted bitch, pour it on yourself. Let's just do it. Slip and slide all over the ring.
This has gone into a very strange direction. There is a tag made, but the ref doesn't see it because Sherry's doing distraction, and yet nothing changes. The ref doesn't get the Patriot out of there for a long time.
Yeah, like, just doesn't care.
You shouldn't be here. You gotta go. Just
Nick
very,
Patrick,
very passive. Just like, no, you need to go over there now, please. Thank you.
No, hey. Oh, wait, and then he just, like, turns to look at Bagwell and just, like, call the match normal on that end. But he just ignores the illegal stuff happening on the other side. Anyways, we really get to the finish from here. This match wasn't very long.
No, it was like 9 minutes.
Yeah, which is Sherry is distracting again because
of course
she does that.
Because she's an A+ manager.
Booker gets thrown into Sherry, who, like, has, like, a bag or something in her hand or a shoe, who knows. And, he like runs into her. He gets hit by the shoe or whatever. But also Sherry gets knocked out the ring. Bagwell like does a victory roll on him to roll him up. Stevie Ray comes out of nowhere, does like a bicycle kick on him, and like or the scissor kick or whatever the thrust like
scissor
weird,
kick.
Yeah, right to his face. Booker's able to leverage the reverse. He grabs onto the tights. Harlem Heat wins the match.
So far, we've really seen Harlem Heat as heels, and I think we pretty much see them as heels almost all the way through. And it's funny because I feel like I would have cheered for these guys. I feel like especially like the work they had with Sherry, I feel like I would have like, these guys seem cool. I want to cheer for them.
Considering how they wanted to bring them in, it wouldn't shock me if they're just like, oh my god, two very big athletic black men, heels.
Yeah,
Who's going to cheer for them in the South? Come on now.
Unfortunate. Let's move to a promo. Now, there are no real legendary Harlem Heat promos except for
I beg to differ.
Except for one, and we're not covering that one for one reason in particular.
Neither of us are African American.
We're not saying it. You know it. Look it up. Because he also makes fun of Hulk Hogan in a way, and that's great. We love making fun of Hulk Hogan. It's like
Hulk Hogan, thing. We coming for you.
Nope.
Coming for you.
Instead, we're just looking at one before the match that we talked about before. We covered it on the Scott Hall podcast when we watched a match between Harlem Heat and Hall and Nash. And this is the promo before that. So it's the Saturday Night Wrestling before that. And they're just being interviewed by Tony Schiavone, who has been around since the dawn of time.
Tony Schiavone is older than my grandfather. Not actually,
is that legit?
But no, my grandfather is 86.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, no, Tony Schiavone ain't that old, but the man has been around the wrestling business.
He just feels like forever. He is, you know?
He's an institution.
He's like an old teddy bear. I just love Tony Schiavone. He's great.
He's great. Sherry is trying to get Harlem Heat focused for the first part of the promo, which is like good managering. She's just like, pay attention.
Well, we know that these guys don't really know how to listen, seeing as Booker T dropped a bomb mid promo. But
they're calling it Hall and Nash in the promo, and the line I liked was they're all about business. I think it was Booker was like, no playing, no jiving, just business. Like, we're just here.
He said business about 10 times in a span of 2 sentences. It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This was not a good I will say this was not a good promo as far as like their delivery. It was kind of awkward and uncomfortable, and
I don't see why Booker got more of a singles push, because Booker's delivery is not bad. Like,
well, it's because he's just saying like he's Booker. You know, he just like put the can you dig it, sucker? Like spin to it, where he like said it very energetically, very passionately, and the content of it sounded ridiculous being said in the way that Booker said it. But like
Stevie Ray just seemed to be consistently yelling.
Stevie was just like joking. Like, he just sounded like he was saying a joke. He goes, my favorite part about this is he goes, Halloween Havoc, everyone with an NWO t-shirt can use that t-shirt to wash your ass when we walk out victorious.
Yo, people who wear NWO shirts don't wash their asses. You should know that, Stevie.
I think we should go to a break now.
Yeah, probably. Let's take a break. When we get back, 2 more matches from Harlem Heat. Back from the break, Uncensored 1997 is our 4th match versus a little group called Public Enemy. Johnny Grunge, Rocco Rock, a.k.a. the 2 people who got their asses destroyed by Farouk and Bradshaw when they tried to join the WWF. I remember that so vividly because it was a brutal potatoing by 2 of the locker room leaders.
So Public Enemy is like your boys, right? They were ECW guys?
Yeah, but I never was around or never really watched Public Enemy. Like, they weren't my era. I think I just missed them when I started watching because they had already gone on to WCW and WWF before I really got into ECW. And upon looking back, like, they weren't amazing in any one particular thing. Like, they weren't standout wrestlers like some of the other tag teams. Like, they weren't the Eliminators, or they weren't, the Impact Players, or even the Dudleys.
They were just there.
They were just popular. They were a very popular duo.
Okay, who wasn't popular in ECW though?
TNN.
You have to think about it. Did you say TNN, like the TV channel?
The company the network that ruined them? Yeah.
Okay.
Them.
Yeah, I mean, aside from them and Vince McMahon, who the fuck? Everyone was over. That was the beauty of ECW, was everyone was over.
Yeah, everybody was dope too. Everybody's awesome. I loved it. Now, this was one of the last feuds for Harlem Heat before Stevie Ray would be off recovering from an injury, and Booker would kind of go into some singles action where he would become U.S. champion. But this is another not Falls Count Anywhere match. It is just a hardcore match, I think.
This is no, this was not any of that. This match was a toilet seat versus frying pan match. That is what this match was. This was a toilet seat versus not frying pan, baking sheet. It was a baking sheet or whatever the fuck. They called it about 18 different things. They said baking sheet, they said pizza sheet, they said frying sheet. They said so many different kinds of sheets that I got to the point where this commentary is just shit.
Now, the only thing that makes this commentary better is apparently Dusty Rhodes has never seen a match like this before in his life, because he loves this match to a comical amount. He had tears in his eyes. You could hear how hard Dusty was laughing. He was not trying to hide it.
Dusty was having the time of his life,
and he's having the best time. Just there is a part, or in the early match, we'll get to in a minute, but the part I want to talk about first. Dusty Rhodes sees, I think it's Grunge hits Stevie Ray with a toilet lid, like a toilet seat, and you just hear Dusty say, "A commode lid, a toilet lid," and he hit him with it, and it's just Dusty giggling his ass off because he's never seen somebody hit somebody with a toilet before, and it made me enjoy the match more. How much Dusty was clearly enjoying himself. The best time.
Hey, happy Dusty makes me happy. I very much enjoyed listening to him commentate this match because he was just having fun. He was living life.
He was having a great time.
I want to be as happy as Dusty Rhodes commentating this wrestling match.
Yeah, that is the level of contentment I'm searching. That's my nirvana, is Dusty Rhodes calling this match.
Oh, it's not, eventually getting married to the love of your life and having a cat.
I mean, that's going to be good, too. I hope that on that day, I feel as good as Dusty Rhodes commentating this match.
But it probably isn't likely, because, this man just reached a level of enjoyment that is just, few have ever reached.
Do you think I could work hard times into my vows?
If you somehow managed to do it without your future wife noticing?
I think my friends would be like, "Are you cutting a promo?"
I'll know. I'll be there, hopefully.
Yeah, you'll know.
I'll know.
And so will I think at least two of my groomsmen would be like, "Are you cutting a promo right now?"
And it's about the man. Yeah, he get
replaced. BB.
We love each other. We go through the hard times, and then one day you'll be replaced by a computer.
Actually, she's replacing a computer. Now, let's talk about the match. So, the actual presentation, we always compare WCW presentation to prime WWE presentation, which is hard because WWE's their number one thing is they have production value over everybody. But the start of this match where they have a picture-in-picture, but it's not too far away.
Oh my god, the dual live screens, yeah.
I hated it so much.
No, I love that.
Oh man, it confused me.
That was awesome. Okay, did it confuse you? Because let's be honest, it's kind of hard to tell Booker and Stevie apart when it's kind of panned out and you're looking at them from behind.
No, I think it was because at the beginning of it, they were clearly in two different spots. It was out at the apron or
one was fighting entrance. Stevie and one of the other guys were out ringside. Booker was back in the ring. Yeah,
but then it got too close, but they hadn't quite switched it off yet. So it was like watching a cutoff of a screen. There was just it should have been a larger screen, but there was just a bit missing, and it was confusing to my brain. I
greatly enjoyed it. I loved every bit of that. It was very enjoyable to me. I had a great time. And honestly, it was one of my notes. It was just, wow, I really like this dual live screen thing. It's WWE should do this.
And, they're out there, and like you said, it's all trash can lids and baking pans. They're just smacking each other with those.
Seriously?
You hear that shot constantly, yeah.
And it's hard to differentiate which one is which, because at one point the friggin' pans get bent so much, they start looking like the toilet seat covers, and then you just don't know who's hitting who with what.
Yeah,
it's a lot, and this wrestling match was not a wrestling match. I really wish that I had been able to, do the moves. I write down some moves, but honestly there was just not much there up until the end when Public Enemy just decided to say fuck it.
Yeah. Public Enemy, who also are dressed in jerseys that I would have made for an 8th grade flag football tournament.
Yeah, it's tie-dye, fucking weirdness.
Yeah, DIY tie-dye. Obviously one of them is number 69 because of course it is.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
Come on now. What are we doing
here? The funniest number of all time.
So, actually, funny story with the number 69. I'm walking. The Mass Avenue Bridge is basically what separates Boston from... Well, it's one of the bridges that separates Boston from Cambridge, which is where, Harvard and shit is.
Yeah.
And if you walk on the part that's, made for people to walk across, they, have these, markers on the ground, which I don't know what they mean, but they go up by intervals of 10. I don't know what the distance is. I want to say it's yards, but I don't know. I felt like they were kind of a little too spaced out for yards. And so right, it's funny because the number 69 is marked right next to 70. I was like,
somebody just had
nice. To. And then we just kept going in intervals of 10 all the way up until the end. It was just done. It was just intervals of 10, but somebody put 69 as a part of it.
I forget what highway it is, but there's a highway where there's a, the mile markers.
Yeah.
And there's one out in Colorado, and they had to get rid of the 420 mile marker because it kept getting stolen. So they replaced it with 419.99 because people kept stealing it.
420, what you smoking?
Of course they did. One garbage can shot, because they also use garbage cans a lot in this match, that particularly made me laugh was Johnny Grunge hits Booker with one, and Booker stun sells it for a while. He's kind of just standing still, and then just kind of frozen flops backwards, and I thought that was a good sell.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the bit where Stevie, like, Booker's on the top rope, and then Stevie just, like, picks him up and, like, drops him onto, I think it's Rocco.
Yeah.
He like, drops him onto him for, I think it was a near fall. I don't even know if they actually went for the pin. It might have been the only first pin of the match. Who knows? Anyways.
But this is also the match that Sherry is most involved in. Sherry came to fight this match, and power to her. She looked great. She is the third member of Harlem Heat. She's not just the manager. She is the third member. She clocks Rocco Rock with a lid and punches him in the face. And she chokes, then follows it up by choking him with an extension cord. And I was like, oh, so anything goes. You're trying to murder Rocco Rock here. Good for you, Sherry.
Yeah, I mean, committing murder is fun. I'm a fan of it. I do it all the time. But
we have so many caveats in this episode. Don't do drugs. Don't commit murder. Like...
Or do. I mean, hey, whatever you decide to do in your life, just know that there are consequences.
We didn't tell you to do it, you know?
Just know that there are consequences to it, son.
Yeah, to your actions, there are consequences. Sherry jumps in the back of Johnny Grunge, and he backs her into the guardrail. And then, really weird table spot. You want to talk about the table spot?
Yeah, so Rocco, I guess Johnny sets up the ring, I believe. I don't know. There's a ring outside. They put Stevie on the ring, on the table. And so Johnny gets on the apron on the outside. Rocco's in the ring. He does this, like, flip. Like, he's doing, like, a tope. But he hits his ass straight onto Johnny. Johnny falls backwards onto the table. And it's like, what?
So they put Stevie through the table, but both of them were taken out by the move.
Yeah.
Bad return on investment. That's a bad move.
Yeah,
it's like it's like in the last episode when we kept seeing RVD flip at people when they were holding a ladder, and I'm like, you're gonna hurt yourself too, Robert. Stop it. Also, shout out to RVD for retweeting our episode last week.
Yeah, I love that guy. RVD, cool. Great man.
Also,
great.
You know, the odds of them listening to this are slim, but shout out to our latest wrestler follower on Twitter, which is Jazz. It's dope as hell.
Yeah, I like to think that they are actually watching this, that are listening to this episode. They're like at the gym or something. Just
listen to the boys talk about mustard.
Yeah. If you guys are listening to this, hey,
what's up?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Anyways,
let's talk about the finish because it's weird.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett and Mondo McMichael come out.
Mongo is my favorite because of that Twitter account now.
And the Instagram. It's the same person. But, like, I just love everything about it.
I guess they were supposed to face Public Enemy, but then they didn't.
Yeah, I think Public Enemy, like, took him out, and then Harlem Heat took the spot. I don't know.
And then Mongo hits a suitcase, which they keep calling, I forget what they call it, herringbone or something like that. Some big word. And he hits the back of Rocco Rock. Booker goes up for the Harlem Hangover. First time we're seeing the Harlem Hangover in any of these matches, and holy shit, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great move. It's a fucking flipping leg drop off the top rope.
And by somebody the size of Booker, it looks incredible.
Yeah, Booker's a big dude. This isn't like later Booker T when he gets to WWE after a couple years. He's like trimmed down. Still big, but trimmed down. This is big guy. He's huge. His shoulders are bigger. Not as big as my head, but, it's big.
And then, they're the winners. Good for Harlem Heat.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That's their finisher, by the way. Their finisher is literally a freaking flipping leg drop off the top rope.
Yes, and it's awesome. Match number 5. We're skipping ahead a couple of years. We are at Halloween Havoc 1999, and there was a triple threat for the WCW Vacant Tag Team Championships. It is Harlem Heat versus the First Family, which is Hugh Morris and Brian Knobbs with Jimmy Hart. A group I did not.
Honestly, that is like a thing where you just make a random tag team and pair them with a random manager, and you hit the randomize button. That is the thing that pops up.
100%. And the Filthy Animals. So the Filthy Animals actually were the tag champions. It was Conan and Mysterio, who at this point is unmasked, which is still the worst decision. Rey Mysterio unmasked looks like Dominic when he had the custody of Dominic Ladder.
Yeah, screw you, Kevin Nash.
Bad idea. So instead, it's now Conan and Billy Kidman who are fighting for the straps, because instead of doing the Freebird rule, they had it where since Mysterio had to vacate due to injury, Conan had to re-win the titles with Kidman at his side. So, that makes sense. I get that. Got Gotta talk about the fact that this is Halloween Havoc 1999, an amazing set with a gigantic gargoyle and a pumpkin, which I love, and it's presented by Slim Jim.
We are waiting still. We are patiently waiting. Yeah, Evan is pointing at his wrist like there's a clock, like there's a watch there, and I am waiting. I'm patiently waiting. We're getting the Podgo money. Slim Jim. What the fuck is my Slim Jim money?
You can be the presenting sponsor.
You can be our presenting sponsor. You could be our only sponsor. For all I care. You can be. I would talk about Slim Jim. I want Slim Jim. Give me some Slim Jims. I love Slim Jims.
I am patiently waiting. Yeah, we're waiting, Slim Jim. Somebody. Your people call our people, and by our people, I mean us. Call us.
Yeah, preferably Evan. Cool. You'll actually pick up the phone.
So, there's 2 refs. Pinfalls count anywhere in this very wild style of a match. I don't understand. Let's talk about.
I had no notes. I have no notes for the first This match is 6 minutes long. I don't have notes for the first 5 minutes.
You want to talk about what First Family comes out wearing? With their Halloween masks? Like they're a goddamn Party City advertisement?
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with Party City where everything is basically inspired by John Cena.
What is the worst Halloween costume you've ever worn?
Ever worn? Okay, so I didn't wear Halloween costumes after the age of 4. So,
jeez,
no.
Really,
so
you were like, all right, cut. We're done.
I just didn't.
I'm not a big Halloween guy either.
It's not that I'm not a Halloween guy. I just don't. I never trick or treated. So in 5th grade, I think it was 5th grade, we had the costume party, but it had obviously been a very long time since I had a costume. And me being me, I forgot to tell my mom about it until the night before.
Yeah.
So I basically just said, yeah, fuck it, making my own costume. So what I did was I put on a basketball jersey, put a headband on, and then used the marker and made blood next to my mouth. So I was like, I'm a zombie basketball player.
I did something similar. I was a zombie hockey player one year. Because in Canada, all of your Halloween costumes have to go over your snowsuits because it's going to be very cold. And so it was always a struggle. I'm being 100% serious. Any Canadian listener can back me up on that. You always have to have something that can go over your coat, or else you're wearing a coat over your costume, and that makes you look stupid.
That was also the same year I ever went trick-or-treating once. I only ever did it one time. That was the same exact year. I did it the exact same costume.
So I had the big costume, and I was a hockey player, and I was like, well, I don't want to just be a hockey player. So Mom did my makeup so I looked like a zombie, and I was like, there you go. That works for something. That's a little bit better. Oh my god, I had another Halloween costume that I'd done that I thought, oh right, in my first year of university, I was the Old Spice guy. And I would like to make sure that I put on the record, I did not paint my body in any way, shape, or form.
So you're not Justin Trudeau?
No, I am not the Prime Minister of Canada. So I just walked around my dorm in a towel, reciting the commercial with all my alcoholic beverages in a cleaned out Old Spice bottle, which was pretty good. But I had rinsed out the Old Spice bottle a couple times. I was like, all right, I think this is good. So what I did was I put water in it to make sure that it didn't taste like soap anymore. And then I took a sip and I burped and a bubble came out. And I was like, oh no. So I called poison control just in case. And that's when I learned that of the body washes, Old Spice is the least poisonous for you. Which probably means it doesn't clean you as well, but it's the least poisonous. And she's like, as long as you have a good dinner, you'll be fine to drink out of it. And I was like, thanks. She was a very lovely lady.
What did you have for dinner?
I believe I then had a couple chicken burgers for dinner, the ones you just throw in the oven.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, we're really slumming it in college.
Yeah, man. I was trying to go out for the night. I already started planning on drinking. I was like, I gotta eat something quick. So chicken burgers. All right, let's do this. Time to party.
Old Spice man. Woo.
Old Spice man. What
Did you do the whistle theme any time at that point?
No, it was just all about doing the commercial. That's all it was. It was all about just, hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me.
Now look at my Old Spice alcoholic beverage.
The tickets are now diamonds. It was a good time. Anyway, this match, like you said, no notes because this is weird. This is a weird match.
Everyone starts off with a weapon. Everyone has a weapon at the beginning of this match.
This match could have used the 2 screens.
Yes, because it was camera cut city. There was even the cameras couldn't even follow the action. They were everywhere. This was mayhem. This was the definition of mayhem.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it gets split in half. So there's half backstage. Booker T was chasing after Jimmy Hart, and he got saved by Knobbs. And so it's Harlem Heat and Brian Knobbs backstage. And it's the Filthy Animals and Hugh Morris out in the ring.
But Hugh Morris is on top the whole time.
Oh, yeah, he is whooping them. Like they're NXT
the
recruits.
Whole time.
He is whooping their ass. just
Jesus.
Merciless. He's an asshole, apparently.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know that.
I'm not breaking news here.
It's still just, you did the thing. You did the thing. Anyways, the only notes I have here are it's a street fight, but you can still grab the ropes to break a pin. I don't know who did it, but someone did it. Jimmy Hart starts dipping. Knobbs sent a trash can flying into Booker's back in a way that was comically hilarious.
Yeah. Like, he wasn't going to catch up to Booker chasing Jimmy, so he just launched the garbage can at him.
Yeah, like, he put some speed behind that bitch, too. It's a good thing those trash cans are pretty hollow.
And then when we get backstage, like I said, Stevie Ray also came backstage, and Booker accidentally kicked Stevie Ray through a stack of boxes. Like, why would there be a stack of boxes like that? That doesn't make any sense.
Who knows? Anyways, back in the ring, Hugh Morris, military presses Kidman onto a chair that was opened up, like just a regular chair. Like it was set up like a normal chair you could sit in. And then he hits a moonsault on Conan through a table.
Yeah, and that wasn't the end of the match.
No, because then we cut back to the other boys, and I don't know what happened, but Harlem Heat pinned Knobbs to win. Stevie
Ray hit Knobbs with a dummy. There was a big dummy backstage, and he hit Knobbs with the dummy. Oh. I think they did one other thing after that, but then that's what they get the pin. Oh. So Harlem Heat gets the pin there, and then the referee is walking them back out so they can ring the bell, because I guess they didn't see it or didn't know. Nobody communicated with ringside.
There's no mics.
But in the ring, the Filthy Animals also got a pin on Hugh Morris.
Yeah, we don't know how that happened, because there is no footage of it. He
moonsaulted them through a table. They managed to get the pin, and then they finally are like, wait, who got it first? It was Harlem Heat? Okay. And that is how Harlem Heat won their record 10th WCW Tag Team Championship.
This is the definition of WCW post-1998.
It was a lot. So after this, in late 1999, a female bodybuilder named Midnight joined Harlem Heat. Booker T liked the addition. Stevie Ray neglected her help, started arguing with Booker T. Ray challenged Midnight in a match that would decide whether she would stay, and then she won with a small package. Stevie Ray turned on Booker T, and that's how Stevie Ray formed Harlem Heat Incorporated with Big T, which is Ahmed Johnson.
Love that.
And Cash, formerly known as 4x4 from the No Limit Soldiers, and Jay Biggs. Stevie Ray and Big T referred to themselves as Harlem Heat 2000, and then this is when they had the fight over the letter T. You heard about that, right?
Yeah, that one I heard about.
Booker lost the rights to his music and the T in his name because it was owned by Harlem Heat and was simply referred to as Booker, and then eventually he would become G.I. Bro. Misfits in action. What
WCW, baby.
WCW. Javier, I know that these were some strange matches. What a strange collection of things for Harlem Heat. One of the most decorated tag teams of all time. Probably the best WCW tag team of all time. What did you learn? What did you get from this?
Really enjoyed this episode. This was a really fun time. Not only just sitting here with you and recanting our experiences watching this and going through everything and saying the dumbest jokes of all time, but also just the matches themselves. Like I said, chaos. Like that was the worst War Games match I've ever seen, but honestly it was kind of funny.
It was very entertaining, yeah.
It was kind of funny. And then, obviously, I love the Nasty Boys match. It was just a food fight. The regular tag match with Bagwell and the Patriot was kind of shit, I'm being honest. The promo was, nothing special.
Yeah.
But, the Public Enemy match was cool. It was a nice little train wreck. Didn't last super long. And then, the Hugh Morris and Brian Knobbs, what was their name? The First Family?
The First Family.
Terrible. And, like, the Filthy Animals thing, that was hilarious. That was a funny-ass match. It was, like, 6 minutes, 6 minutes of just nonstop, just where the hell is the camera?
Yeah. And I think it, as much as it's really weird, because we didn't get to see a lot of, like, the in-ring action. The in-ring action didn't matter as much. You know, the Harlem Heat was just super cool. They had some good moves. They were able to, like, tell a story during the match. They were able to get over whatever weird thing they were doing.
Yeah.
Like, they could be put in any spot in the tag team division. They could be the champs. They could be the challengers. They could just be a tag team that's, you know, running through random different parts of the roster. And they were able to be successful. You know, they both had it going on for them. Obviously, WCW had Booker earmarked for bigger and better things as a single star. And then obviously he would kind of go on to do that in WWE. But this is you know, they are well remembered for a good reason, because they were, you know, popular, they were fun, and they were talented wrestlers.
They
were
had
good
great
enough.
gear.
They had some of the best gear.
Some of the best gear I've seen in all of wrestling. It's, you know, one of the best themes in all of wrestling, just a vibe. I still will never understand why they couldn't just call them, like, Houston Heat, like they're from Houston. Why is it Harlem? Harlem Heat is still a great name, though.
A great name. It's great.
But
okay.
yeah, what, you know, you always ask me about my thoughts on the wrestlers. What are your thoughts on the wrestlers, Evan?
You know, like I said, they can be used anywhere. Like, they were talented enough to be put in any position. They can make any of these.
They were in a War Games match, damn it.
Yeah, they can make any of these weird stipulations work. You know, you need those teams that can anchor your division, that are always going to be popular and can work both face and heel. Harlem Heat is that. You know, do I think that they're at the technical skill level of some of today's tag teams? No, but I don't think they had to be, because that wasn't the wrestling that was being done then. They had cool moves, they had cool gear, they were cool dudes. I thought they were excellent. It was fun to go through, because these matches were weird as hell, but it was pretty fun.
And the Harlem Hangover is an excellent finisher.
It is an excellent finisher. That's going to wrap up this week's episode. Next week, Javier's making me watch a 90-minute match. A 90-minute match. Because we put a poll out on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, and we asked you all who you'd like to see as cover, because we had a spot open in the next couple wrestlers we were covering, and Chris Hero was the answer. So we are watching Chris Hero versus CM Punk, the legendary 90-minute 2 out of 3 falls match.
I'm sorry. I just want to say
it's a good match. I've never seen it, but I've heard amazing things, so I'm excited.
I'm
clearing part of my Sunday for this.
I watched chunks of it. It's going to be a grind for me, because I tend to watch these episodes like day of recording. So I can only imagine.
That one you might need to you know, carve out some time in your schedule ahead of time.
No, that one I might just have to wake up at like 6 a.m. and start prepping.
Just on that 90-minute match grind. But I'm excited. Chris Hero is somebody that I only really saw as Cassius Ohno, and similar to when we did the Steve Corino episode, it's going to be difficult to find a lot like the best matches, because
it sucks.
Tape trading.
Yeah, it sucks because, like, obviously his stuff as a singles guy with CZW and his early run with ROH and a lot of the random independents that he did. But more than anything that really sucked was not being able to find a lot of his good matches with Kings of Wrestling when he was a tag team with Cesaro.
Yeah.
You know, I was really looking forward to seeing a lot of that.
That's what I think I was looking forward to most. But again, that's part of the, you know, I guess the motto, the ethos of this podcast is like, not only do we want to be able to find matches, we want them to be accessible to everybody. So we, aside from the network subscription, you know, we're not paying for anything. We're not going above and beyond. We're not going to be like, here, get this DVD.
Yeah, get New Japan World, guys.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything like that to you. Get whatever Ring of Honor's thing is. Honor Club. Don't get Honor Club unless you want it. Then do it. Yeah, but we want things to be easily accessible so you guys can just watch it. You know, the only thing we usually say is the network subscription because everybody's getting that. So
yeah, everyone usually has one, or if not, and you're in America, Peacock. It's free.
Yeah, or just steal it from somebody else. We all just steal each other's subscription services anyways. Who cares?
Yeah, our worst case scenario is to look at what the match is and then just, like, try to find it illegally. I don't know. I'm not bad.
Javier just advocating for crimes this whole episode. Just do crimes. They're fun.
Drugs, murder, piracy.
Hey, steal from the rich. Do it.
He took off his glasses before he said that.
Steal from the rich. Do it. All right, Javier, where can people find you on social media?
I'm on the social media machine, the Twitter machine, at JMellow Sports. I don't know. Follow me. I guess I tweet sometimes. I don't know.
Follow me on the Twitter, at It's Evan Gomes, ITSEVAN GOMES. Follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Crossbody of Work. Find us there. Tweet at us. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us fuck Earl Hebner. Tell us whatever you want. Tell us your deepest, darkest secrets. Who cares?
Tweet at us, you'll get a shout out. I swear.
Yeah, you'll get a shout out. You will. Because the boys, we're trying to build a community. Trying to build a nice community.
Yeah, we're trying to have an entire faction of cocaine users.
Jesus, we're going full NWO. We're just recruit anybody. Everybody's in. It's fine. We're trying to. Our current goal is to get more members than the core.
Oh God, what were they at? Like 7?
I don't know. It was garbage. All I know is that it was bad. On that fun note, we'll leave it there. Javier, any last words for the people?
Just Black Lives Matter. Keep fighting. They get to fight everybody.
See you next week.